Oh, people, yes, we're recording now. They heard you do that, by the way, so now you know everyone thinks that you're childish.
Oh, God.
People,
That's the best part of that song, you know it.
It really is. That's the only part of the song. I don't remember any other part of the. What's it even called?
Careless Whisper.
What's it called?
And I'm never gonna dance
again.
Oh my goodness, people! Yeah, it's the Chat Attack. We're on a Sunday, not a Saturday. Say Chatterday. Wow, that actually should be our thing. It was like, oh, it's Chatterday, Chat Attack.
Yeah.
No, not
I'm
really.
like some type of cheese.
Yeah, I don't know. But here's the thing, though. We're here. You can hear his two female voices. Alan didn't just like lose all of his manliness because he has, I think, the deepest voice out of everybody inside the Chat Attack. But Alan, how you doing, man?
What's up?
Hey, how you doing? He has this Blue Yeti mic. I gotta tell you, he's just a glowing fucking advertisement for that mic. I want that mic so bad. But it's really nice. I think Alan's is in a different place right now.
I don't know what the fuck you want me to say, but sure.
Oh yeah, okay. So here's the thing. I'm gonna be writing Alan's content from now on. I'll be giving him a script.
Oh, fuck that. We'll start off with saying talk
Nick
about
is
Terminator
great.
2 for 10 fucking minutes.
No.
Great. He's the best person ever.
Oh,
Nick is
fuck
awesome.
Cares.
Nick doesn't pay me. No one would ever pay me enough to read a script.
Getting this water down. Almost drowned. That's okay. I'm gonna try to like not choke while we do the stream.
That's
So
what she said.
here's the thing, though. We normally we'd have topics and all this stuff and kind of like have a full-on show going on. That's not gonna happen today. We just really want to like talk about these two fucking movies that we watched that I paid for. I did see Child's Play. I didn't cheat with that. I didn't watch some bootleg. I know Allie likes to give me shit all the time. Oh, you don't watch it in the movie theater, so you don't get it. By the way, Allie, have you seen any of these movies, these toy movies?
I have not. I'm thinking about seeing Toy Story probably either this week or next week or something like that, though.
Is it just out of not having anything to do, or do you legit want to know what happens next with Woody and Buzz and everybody?
Well, I mean, like, I was invested in the first three movies, so I feel like it's only right for me to see what this one's about, but I'm not, like, trying to go out of my way to see it. Like, I'd probably wait until all the kids have, like, gone back to school or not watching movies in the theaters and go and see it, like, maybe during the middle of the week or something, because I can't stand these kids taking my freaking chair. I can't
This fucking
take
kid
it.
shit.
Yeah, she was literally like, I can't take these fucking goddamn kids, these piece of shit little motherfuckers. He's like, whoa, hey, chill out there, buddy.
My mother's in the other room. I have to be, a little bit more centered.
Mm-hmm. Turd.
Centered.
Yeah, no, I don't really mind the kids too much because I actually kind of like the idea of everyone being inside the movie theater, like freaking out or laughing. Like Child's Play, there's some shit that was not landing for me, and people laughing in the crowd kind of got me to be like, okay, that was kind of cool, Like Jed, I'm gonna ask you, do you get irritated being in a theater full of people at all, or do you wait for people to like go back to school and whatnot?
No, like big theaters don't really like annoy me unless like after the movie they start clapping like, oh my god, that was so fucking good, I love that. That's some shit I absolutely cannot stand. Or basically like, honestly, it always has to do with stuff after the movie where you hear people talking and then trying to like push on their movie knowledge to other people, like, oh, that wasn't like how it was in the books.
Yeah.
Like, and they make sure they're extra loud, and it's just like you just want to be like, you know what? Just do like us and just save that for your podcast.
No shit. I mean, honestly, at a certain point, it's like no one really cares to hear all these fucking things. But at the same time, I will say, like with Avengers: Infinity War, that was something where like the kids being upset or crying, being like, "I can't believe, is he dead, Mom?" Like that kind of stuff really kind of like pulled at my heart a little bit. Like I was like, "Damn!" Like, for me, I know that Spider-Man's gonna come back and blah blah all that shit. But the fact that it made some kid want to ask that, like, "Is he dead?" It's like it felt like somebody actually died. Like it was kind of like fucked up a little bit. And I think that kind of helps out the whole experience in a way. But
hell yeah, he's dead and he ain't coming back.
See, for me, no one reacted like that with Endgame. Not one kid I don't think gave a fuck that Tony Stark was dead. No tears were shed that day.
I don't know about you, but every time I went in the theater to see that movie, there were like sniffles in the theater.
Really? Okay.
Really silent. It's just like
nipples in the theater.
Oh, shut up!
You did say nipples.
I said sniffles.
You said it again. It's just not coming.
Allie, there's an S in sniffles. You can pronounce it. It's okay.
Yeah.
I
Nipple.
just said sniffles.
Is this? It's seriously coming off as the other way. Yeah, it's. it's weird how it's coming off. Like I really cannot fucking hear
I'm done.
the pronunciation there.
You're all just trying to play with me. Don't even-
No, you straight up Sybil's. It's fine.
Oh my god. But no, man. So that's the thing, though. It's like now you get a movie like Child's Play, where it's supposed to be just fun. You know what I mean? Like, or at least I thought it was gonna be fun. I was not expecting to feel what I felt during this fucking movie at all, man.
Yeah, boredom.
Really? Okay. Well, we'll get into that in a minute, jackass. Really quick too. So I'm gonna look in here in the chat. The chat. I don't know why it's not working yet again. I tried, people. Well, it's not even showing this fucking screen. Let me fix this really quick before we continue on, because I do want to show the chat. And it sucks that I'm having so many issues with this, because man, Facebook was doing so well lately, and now it's becoming an issue. But no, we got Andrew in there, we got Eddie in there, we got that's it. So I guess I'm missing a whole lot. But if you guys want your stuff to be heard, make sure to go to YouTube or Twitch, and I'll be able to show on screen what's actually going out. Hollowman saying nips out for Iron Man. That's what Allie said. We didn't say some crazy shit like that. She's talking about nipples. I don't get it. But Mr. Alan Shakespeare, it's time for us to get into our thing, brother. Really quick. So what I wanted to do, I was thinking we should probably start off with Toy Story. You know what I mean? I think that's like the biggest thing right here. And the thing is, usually I start off with the premises and whatnot. But I think for once, I'm gonna have you kind of start this off, man. What do you think of the premise? And is there anything you want to like say about it, or even tell people exactly what this is about, more so?
Okay, so yeah, we're jumping into the fourth one straight away.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this takes place years almost. Actually, it's not years after the last one. It's a couple of. It seems like it's a couple of months after the last one, but it starts off basically like 10 years, where it's like, hey, it's starting to get the emotional core of like what it's like to be abandoned. And the premise of the basic movie is that all the toys are with the new person, Bonnie, and they're basically just trying to adapt to life with somebody that's not Andy. And basically, things happen where she creates this new toy. And Woody's trying his best to make sure that that toy stays a part of her life, and basically hijinks ensues as a result of that. So, as far as the basic premise, it's fine. It feels like it's a play on the first one, where he's trying to deal with Andy, and a new toy comes in, and Woody instantly tries to murder it. This time, it's like he's actually trying to, because he understands that new toys help developing kids, so he's trying his best to still be a part of this new kid's life, even though she's kind of moving on from him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and here's the thing too. By the way, it's gonna look different. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Now they have 2 different screens and they can't switch out of them. It's fucking crazy. Getting really sick of YouTube. But anyways, yeah, man. For me, I thought the premise was fine. I mean, everything you explained right there. Like that's definitely what I felt. I mean, I don't feel like I need to add anything there. The premise stays within the premise, and I think like halfway through, things start kind of trying to change a tiny bit. I dug it. I think that if someone told me what this was about ahead of time, I still would have wanted to see the movie. You know what I mean? So for me, yeah, I gotta give this a thumbs up for that. Jen, how about you?
Basically for a kids movie, this premise is actually very adult. It has to do basically what like Alan said, moving on, like knowing that people grow up and they get interested in different things, and knowing like, yeah, you're not a part of that anymore, so maybe you can go on and do something that basically is your calling, which I felt like this movie did very, very well.
Yeah, no, I really did think so too. And the thing is too is like while watching it, there's so many points too where it's like, I feel like this was big for people who were actually into Toy Story for back in the day. There's lots of music cues still, and the thing is like Randy Newman, the dude who's like, you got a friend and me, like they use the fuck out of that guy. There's like 2 songs in here that they use.
Throw me away.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I thought those were pretty cool too. I think that this was great for the Toy Story fans, and I think that's the second thing to get into here is the intended audience. Alan, I'm going to ask you really quick. Who do you think this intended audience was?
I think that it splits because it's for new people that probably didn't watch Toy Story, because Toy Story 3, I mean, it was 6 years ago, but I'm sure the people that haven't seen Toy Story, I mean, I didn't fucking watch all the Toy Stories till like literally yesterday for the first time. So as far as intended audience, like, yeah, you have the people that have never seen Toy Story, because this is just a kids movie that you can almost, like, if you've never seen a Toy Story, you can almost walk into this one and be kind of fine, because it's still a pretty straightforward movie. But this is also definitely for the people that have been watching this since they were kids, because it's the same characters. It's they basically remember a lot of what happened. This isn't like a reboot where it's like, oh, we forgot the last fucking 20 years happened. It's like, no, they bring up a lot of stuff that happened. They bring up a lot of conversations that happened. They talk a lot about Andy, where it's like Andy only gets shown once, and that's just clips from the last movie, but he gets talked about a lot in this movie because that's still a part of Woody's life.
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, like for me, I think that was definitely, like you said, I mean, split wise, yeah, there's a big thing here where it's for the people that grew up with Toy Story, but then at the same time, like when you get an anime movie like this, is for the kids that are just watching the newest cool fucking animated movie. The thing that everyone's talking about. So it's like, okay, I kind of understand how this is good for kids of today too. But I think a certain part in here is they are going for like this more deep meaning, kind of like sadness type thing. Like everyone going into this that have already seen the Toy Story and Pixar movies, they are ready to cry. They're ready to kind of get through like the whole point of being upset or some dire thing happens at the end. And I feel like this one I had the least emotional connection with. It was like there's a lot of this that's just fucking silly, and it's like, okay, if I was
These
a
movies
hardcore,
tend to be very, 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 very nuts. Like, but again, it's like, yeah, it doesn't have as much emotional impact as I think 3 did, but it still has an emotional core and emotional impact that I think for the most part it nails.
how about you, Jed? What do you think about that? What would you rate this as far as that goes? Like thumbs up or thumbs down for the intended audience, and who do you think this was for?
This was definitely for basically both children and adults and anyone who's basically seen all the Toy Story movies. I don't feel like it's really made for people who haven't seen or like older people who haven't seen the movie, because like it's just like, even though they put in like callbacks to like the last movie and basically maybe the earlier movies just redone, I feel like you're not going to be as impacted by these movies if you haven't seen the previous ones. Like it's not going to be there. Like the previous movies have way more impact than this one does. While this one was still pretty smart in what it did, I feel like you're really missing out by not being a fan of these movies and just going straight into that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of see that point too. But yeah, so for you, and sorry if I missed it, or whatever, because there's so much shit happening on this end. Thumbs up or thumbs down for you?
It's definitely a thumbs up.
Okay, and me too. I think we all agree that so far this movie's like 2-2-2. I think, right?
Yeah, because it's just like most like everyone's going into this movie basically on like the first day it came out because like they've seen Toy Story, they love Toy Story, they want to see how this shit ends. Like I'm pretty sure that's who their audience was. They knew they were going to see this movie, despite it being the fourth movie and it being like basically like, oh, like it may be stupid, but whatever. But these people are definitely going to go see it.
Absolutely, and over here too. So, and it's not showing the screen. Here we go. Yay! Oh nope, it's gone. These fucking characters. I gotta tell you, I have to give this a point just for its character, like, and that goes within emotion too. I'm probably gonna skip emotion in this sense because the whole emotion of this movie is the characters. That's the whole point of this movie. And I gotta tell you, like, I mean, all these characters on screen right now that I'm showing, yeah, you don't get a whole lot with them, but you made me care about a plastic fucking fork. You know what I mean? And there was something about that where it's like, I think, them deciding to go that way with the storyline and to kind of bring up almost an idea of suicide somewhat. I mean, it wasn't as extreme as that. But
No, that thing is trying to kill itself the entire fucking movie, dude. Like, kill me.
yeah, like, I don't know if he even says kill me, but he's kind of like, just dispose me. Like, I do not deserve to live. Like, I cannot
Dude, when
be
he
here.
jumps out the fucking window.
I'm trash.
Yeah, I'm trash. You keep saying, I'm trash, I'm trash, I'm trash, I'm trash.
My life is a pain.
Or even the stuff like the dire situations emotionally that people are going through inside the antique store. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much stuff in there.
Yeah.
And, dude, like, how the fuck can you paint a character as a villain for 2 hours and then I still care about what happens with you at the end? Man, like, for character, this just builds and builds and builds. So, yeah, point for me. Alan, anything you want to say there?
I think that it's hard to say because like there's so many characters in this movie, but I feel like only the original, except for Forky and the villain, none of the new characters that were introduced in the last one really got any characterization. Because you have the basically Bonnie's original toys, the weird crazy unicorn, the Triceratops. They don't really get much going on. They're just kind of there to throw a joke every now and then. Where I feel like a lot of the new characters, again, except for Forky and the villain, didn't really get much characterization. So I still do want to give this a thumbs up because the characters that were on screen were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I just was upset that I'm like, I don't really get a sense of Bonnie's other toys at all. Like, I get a sense for all the original characters, but I don't really get a sense, like, besides the wisecracking unicorn, like, he didn't really have any characterization besides he's clearly a psychopath.
yeah, pretty much. Jed, how about you? Thumbs up, thumbs down as far as story with the characters?
This is a definite thumbs up. Like you said, like these Toy Story movies are based on its characters, like Woody, Buzz. Not too much of Jessie though, despite her technically being important later, I guess. But I do understand like why they couldn't give characterization to all like every single toy because like then this would be a fucking long ass movie because there's so
Yeah.
many fucking toys. But yeah, I do kind of have a problem with that. Like some of the older characters from the previous movies, honestly, I feel like should have actually had a bigger part. This is 100% Woody's movie. Like there's
Oh
no
yeah,
doubt. 100
it's
fucking
100%
percent.
focused on him. Like again, Rex and Pig don't fucking get anything to do at all.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, Mr. Potato Head didn't.
Oh, don't do that. Poor Don Rickles. He's gone.
And R.I.P. Come on, guys. Evil.
Hey,
No one
like,
was-
yeah, I'm pretty sure people are wondering, like, hey, Mr. Potato Head was big in these last movies. What happened? Well, that's what happened.
Yeah.
But even then, like, the characters that were introduced actually were entertaining. Like, even Bonnie's toys, like, they did have something to do in the beginning when it's more just focused on, like, when the movie was more focused on her. Like, they did have something to do, like, showing, like, oh, like, how she plays with her toys and tends to sort of pick out more of the feminine toys or the ones that more are cutesy, which is why Woody tends to get thrown to the side a lot. It's just like, what exactly can I do with you? You're more of a boy's toy. You're not really something I want. Bonnie's character, despite like being a very big center of this movie, I don't think was actually that important.
It's weird because she's the sole goal of the movie. Like the whole movie revolves around her and what her comfort level is.
Yeah, and she's barely in it in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so is Andy in the first one. This is almost at the same level. Because Andy, like, until really the third one, maybe a little bit in the second one, Andy's character is just kind of there to be a goal to get back to, and that's the same thing with Bonnie. That's what I'm saying. Like, this one has a lot of similarities to the first one, except it changes up. It changes up most of it, but it's still like, yeah, I got to get back to my kid, and that was the plot of the first one. Like, I got to get back to Andy. Andy's in the movie in the first one for like 10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah. No,
actually, I feel like this one is definitely a mix of both the first one and the third one, more of the second one.
Yeah.
I feel like all the previous like movies were somehow just kind of thrown into this one, like little bits, and finally got that conclusion that we really, I think most of us saw coming. But anyway, yeah, thumbs up for characterization, especially with Forky. You wouldn't think a character that was basically just technically isn't really a toy would be like so drawn out.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Because he knows what he's about. Like he knows exactly what he is, and basically that gets to Woody.
An
later.
abomination
Like,
of nature that shouldn't be alive.
yeah, like I know what I know what I am, but what are you? What's your purpose?
Yeah, no.
Which it really sticks with you. So yeah, thumbs up for me.
Yeah, it stuck with me so much too, and I mean, I guess we'll go right into that too. And I'll start off with you again, Jet. Emotion, like. You know, did you like it because like the writing? Okay, like on paper the writing was just good and everything was kind of like working in cohesiveness, but like were you also emotionally? Because I mean, here's the thing: I didn't cry at the end, right? And like every other movie did. So like, here's the thing too: many people are saying that this is probably like the worst Toy Story, but at the same time, you're comparing this to a amazing trilogy.
Yeah,
so
I hate when people say the worst. It's like just say what it actually is. It's the weakest one. Don't say it's worse because it's not a bad movie.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like emotionally, like even though maybe it didn't affect you as most of the other ones, and you'll let me know if that's true or not. Was this effective to you at all, Jet?
It was I mean, it doesn't make me cry like the other ones. Like it definitely did. Actually, no, I never cried with any like Toy Story movie, but I did like feel heavy emotions. This one didn't really give me that feeling. It gave me more of like, huh, that made sense sort of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So just I feel there is emotional parts in this movie like throughout to where it's just like if that part didn't get you, then maybe this part will with a certain like one of the certain villains in this, or maybe the part with Bonnie at the beginning when she first goes to school, or maybe like the complete end of it. There's multiple parts where you actually do feel emotion in here, but at the same time, the previous movies did do it better to where this one was kind of like you tried. You definitely tried. There was attempts here, and there was a lot of psychological stuff in here, but got to give it to the other movies. I'm still going to give it a thumbs up, but yeah.
Yeah, it is one of the situations where it's like you can't help but compare because it is a franchise. Alan, how about you, man? Emotion. Were you emotional during this? Did you cry a little bit?
No, the third one was really the only one that really got me. I was in a fucking Wendy's at the time, so I was trying to hold back my tears. I'm like, yeah, I can't burst into tears in a fucking restaurant.
These hamburgers are so fucking good.
Sir, did you want to order something?
Well, no, I was eating my food.
Sir, did you want a napkin?
They're just sitting there watching the movie with me. All the fucking cashiers are watching the movie. Oh, I love this part, man.
Sir, we already put salt in your fries. You don't need to cry into them.
Yeah, man. Like, this one though, like, how effective did it have on you, or how effective was it?
I think this was decently effective. It didn't. It made me feel like the first two movies versus the third. I think the third one was able to nail way more of its emotion, way better because it was, again, it was trying to get there and it's able to do that because you had the legacy. This was trying to do so. This I don't think nails the legacy portion because you should be very upset that again some of the fates of some of the characters, but it's more of just okay, like you've accepted it because you already kind of went through the ending and this is more of an epilogue. But it
Mhm.
still nails it because the most important things about the Toy Story movies that I think that a lot of kids movies don't fucking get is what's the emotional core of the movie. Because when you get the all three Toy Story movies have a different emotional core. Like again, you have the first one, which is like what's it like? Again, it's a fun kid story, but like what's it like when someone else comes new into your life, and do you feel replaced? Do you feel like you're going to be thrown away for someone more interesting? And they nail that in the first one. The second one, the second one and third one continue on with their different emotional cores. The fourth one, I feel that its emotional core is like, yeah, moving on when your time is complete, are you able to leave and go somewhere else and go on your own adventures? Like, when is it time for you? And I think that it nails it. It doesn't make me cry, but it still nails it emotional. So this is definitely a thumbs up.
Yeah, God, I'm really surprised at how positive we're all being right now. I honestly, and this is how you know when you're part of the fun place is like I'm ready to fuck this up and start talking shit about it, and I'm going to do it right now. Progression, sorry, thumbs down for me. The reason why I'm giving this a thumbs down is because of the fact that there's a certain point within this movie where we are now meandering. They're inside of the antique store, and there's situations where it's like it's taking too long to do what I know it's going to do. And I understand that, like, you got to make it, everything needs to have a reason. Like, everything can't just happen by coincidence. And even if it does happen coincidence, it needs to have some kind of, like, well, this led to this, to this, to this. But here, there's parts where, like, they're just kind of, like, sneaking around. Oh, who's that? What's that? Look at this beautiful world. Oh, we got to tell a joke here. And I feel like there's a lot of this that could have been shrinking down to maybe about another 20 minutes or so. Like, there's a lot of stuff here that's just done for comedy, just done to kind of like move the story to another segment, which is for kids at the end of the day. Did you really need to do that? I don't know. It just took too goddamn long for me. I think something should have been edited here. Gotta give it thumbs down. Not mad about it. It's nothing like or whatever, but it's just like a little long, little on the same story point of just like we gotta get back to Bonnie. I was sick of hearing Bonnie's fucking name. That was starting to piss me off a little bit. So yeah, Alan, I'm gonna ask you real quick. Progressionness, like as far as story, not so much pacing, but story. Did it kind of meander around same points? And progression wise, what would you rate this?
I did. I probably give you the thumb down. Well, it did take a little long to get to where we needed to go, because like they're introducing characters and stuff. But I'm like, it does feel like you're kind of like we gotta pad this out. Like it's not even a long movie. This movie's an hour and 40 minutes, and like I literally binged the other three like right before I watched it. I'm like, all of them felt like. Again, this feels like it has very, very similar pacing to the first one, where it's like we have to kind of stay in this world for a little while. Like again, I treat the fucking antique shop like Sid's house, where they stay
Yeah.
in Sid's house for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this, I'm like, yeah, kind of move on a little bit. But it wasn't mad. I was just like, and there's enough stuff that happened afterwards that I forgot about it. Cause like there is, I'd say there's a 15-minute portion in the middle that I'm like, this is getting a little slow. But that again, it's only 15 minutes. After that, it was fine.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Jed, how about you? What'd you think about the progression of this?
Don't know if I want to do progression or pacing with this one. I'm gonna
We
give
can link them
progression with
together.
this.
Actually, if they mean the same thing for you, you can definitely rate both right now if you want to.
Progression, I do feel like it does like slow down once they do get to the antique shop because unlike going back to like what Alan said with the first movie with Sid's house, like there's a lot of emotional moments going on in that part, and also very interesting parts because everyone remembers the parts with the fucked up toys and everything like that.
Yeah.
And in this one, they have like the ventriloquist dummies and the dolls and all that other stuff. They have toys in there, but it's not as memorable as what happened in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And like during those parts, you do get a little bored because it's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, this is boring. Like kind of being in an antique shop. Like I felt like I was literally in that antique shop, just being like,
Just
oh
looking
my
at toys
god,
like, okay.
when can we go? I want to go, Mom. I don't want to be here anymore. This place sucks and it smells like old people.
Damn. Oh yeah.
But yeah, like honestly, like they spent so much time there. And honestly, they had a whole like fair going on out like right outside there. I honestly would have felt like I wanted them to go out there more. Like I wanted to see stuff they would do out there way more than the antique shop. It's not really an interesting place to have your movie for like the majority of your movie. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna give that a thumbs down.
Okay, yeah. So I'm glad that we actually all still agree.
Mhm.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. So here's the thing, though. Now as far as we passing progression, and I guess this has to do somewhat same with the pacing of this all. Is yeah, man. I thought the pacing was okay. It's nothing very special. My only issue with the fact is like, yeah, once again, just like what I said about the progression, yeah, this could have had some stuff edited off. It was a little long. It was a little long, and then even the ending, there's a lot of stuff that's happening where even though I'll say, okay, it is nice to progress towards like, hey, emotionally, I'm progressing towards, I've missed you so much, Bo Peep, and I want to stay here, blah blah blah, the whole thing. Everyone, it's kind of like a big family reunion type of thing at the end. I get it, but at the same time, it took so long where like characters stare each other in the eyes, and oh no, like here comes Buzz, here comes Woody, they're gonna meet in the middle. Oh, friend, I haven't seen you since this big storyline plot thing happened a little bit ago. That kind of stuff is where I'm like, all right, move the fuck on. I don't want to hear all this emotional shit. That was a problem for me. Thumbs down for me as far as pacing. Nothing too extreme. Alan, how about you?
I'd probably go with the same thing. I'm really good for emotion. There's a part where it kind of slows down, but I think they're able to nail the emotional stuff with all the characters. Because like Bo Peep hasn't been in here since his first movie, and they really make you feel that. And I do kind of like what they did because like they could have easily had a situation where she was just mad or upset, but I'm like, no, they managed to make Bo Peep like she's like, yeah, fuck it, I moved on. And that's a lot of the point of this movie is being able to move on and accept your place where you're going to be and what you making the best of your current situation. Because again, you could have anybody. I mean, the fucking last movie's villain was somebody that just couldn't get over it, and you see somebody that was able to get over it. I'm like, okay. They're able to keep it going where I never felt I was bored, even though there were issues where it was slow.
Yeah. What you call it, Jet? How about you as far as pacing?
Well,
I know you already said
what's
it.
it called? You call me an it?
No. I was gonna call you Alan again. But no, Jet.
Dang.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I know you already said some things that kind of apply to pacing, but if you try to separate progression and pacing, would this be the same rating for it? No.
I mean, like once again, like, uh, here's the thing. Even though the antique shop was boring in a sense, I don't want to be in an antique shop because I'm pretty sure there's a ton of fucking Easter eggs in there because that I could look around at. But it's just like I don't want to look at an antique shop. Yeah, it's pretty and all that, but I'm bored.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, even though like it kind of like slows down there, I was never actually bored with the movie. I was bored at the place they're at, but not the actual movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're always able to keep up stuff where basically it catches you off guard with maybe like a joke or something like that. Like the antique shop did have like a lot of fun jokes, especially with the bunny and the duck.
Oh
Who
yeah,
I'm pretty sure were like
Key and Peele.
yeah, Key and Peele with a certain joke involving the store owner that actually made me laugh quite a
That
few
was
times.
great.
Yeah, that was honestly awesome. I thought they were gonna be annoying when I saw them in the teaser trailer. I was like, oh fuck, here we go. But no, they were great in the movie. I thought they were awesome.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna run that joke into the ground, but then the third time, I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
Where's this going?
Yeah, we're getting there.
But yeah, man. Really quick too, when I bring this up, tone. My only issue with tone that I gotta bring up is the fact that like, and they did this well. So like, I'm thumbs up. But like, one thing that almost got close to thumbs down is anytime I'm trying to feel sad because I'm like, okay, this shit's affecting me, and I'm kind of like feeling like down. Then there's like a big joke. Well, I wasn't ready for the joke, so now they keep going with the jokes. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm having fun. Oh shit, now it's time to be sad again. I guess I wasn't ready for that. Oh damn, now we're back to comedy again. It's like, and not just like slight like gradual comedy. It's like straight up like something really really sad about like I'm gonna kill myself. I'm a spoon. I don't mean shit. But Bunny and the other dude are kicking Buzz Lightyear in the face. It's like, what the fuck? Like that was kind of like a huge jump, right? Like little things like that was kind of interesting to me. But I liked it though. I mean, I gotta give it thumbs up. But it's just like sometimes I was a little like yikes for some of these big like shoot up in comedy or whatever the fuck. But Jen, I'm gonna ask you now. What'd you feel about the tone?
Oh, thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Because while it did have this underlying thing of like being depressing, it's also very very hopeful, which you see the most in Forky and Woody, and actually you know what, all the characters that were basically from all the toy characters that were basically from the Lost Toys, I'll say, yeah, the antique shop and the Lost Toys. You do get a hopefulness of them, basically just like you don't have just one purpose. You have a purpose. You can keep going on. You are put here for a reason. And if you don't feel that's your reason, you can find something else, which I'll give a thumbs up to.
Alan, how about you?
I had a great time with this movie because when it was doing the jokes, there's parts where I was laughing. Not every joke landed, but most of it did. When doing the emotional stuff, I was able to do it. When they were doing the fucking action scenes, I was like, wow, these are fucking great. From just the stunts they were doing to at some point they're actually having fights, which was I did not expect that. And yeah, just anytime there's something going on, they have the fucking Canadian guy, which I laugh my goddamn ass off at.
Yeah, your
That was
boy
fucking
Keanu Reeves,
amazing.
man.
Yes, Keanu Reeves. I was like, oh no, Keanu Reeves, no, you're gonna ruin this. I don't know how good you are at voice acting. I'm like, they gave him just enough lines to be good. I'm like, okay, that was great. They just enough, and it's just like he can do voice acting good, so I can't wait to see him in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, and about that too, thumbs up to dialogue on everybody. Keanu Reeves, it's not like anyone had to like steal the show. No one really stole the show. It was just like a very natural, like I like everybody. I mean,
Yeah. And no one needed that. It wasn't one of those things where like, oh, this is clearly the most important character. It's like, no, everyone did what they needed for the plot to go along.
Yeah, and I feel like I like to enjoy those kind of things a little bit more so just because of the fact that like when people try their best to stand out or someone has to have the funniest joke, it seems like people are competing in the movie. And
Yeah.
it's like, all right, y'all, like chill, everyone chill the fuck out. So this time it wasn't like that for me. Jed, I'm going to ask you, dialogue, would you rate this and what'd you feel about the dialogue in general?
Oh, thumbs up, like 100%. Like the funny, like the actual funny dialogue was great. Buzz Lightyear with his whole thing was funny.
And her
like,
voice.
Yeah,
his
the
inner
inner voice was
voice.
great.
The dialogue with Key and Peele was great. The dialogue with the villain was actually very, very good. And basically, and honestly, had you feeling for her because she actually really wasn't evil. She actually had a reason for what she was doing, which
Exactly.
honestly, like, is great. Bo Peep, amazing. Everyone
Yeah.
in here had really, really good dialogue. Especially even the like Bonnie's parents, they were hilarious during the last scene. The unicorn, fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's funny when it was funny when it needed to be. It was serious when it needed to be, and honestly, thumbs up.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm going to give this one extra point. And it's not even like it's too innovative, but I think it earns some point of innovation. And that has to be for me, I guess, and I don't know where to even put this in. I guess I would say like innovation of story. But man, Endgame tried to do this. Dark Phoenix tried to do this. Everybody tries to do this with the female protagonist. And like, yeah, woman power, woo, girls, right? And like, look, maybe it's because I'm a guy. I just don't give a shit about that usually, especially when it's like they're trying too hard. But here, I gotta give him a point for just how natural Bo Peep was fucking amazing. Like, now that's character progression. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
She was the fucking star. I love Bo Peep. And dude, you just watched the first one. Do you think you and I or any of us in here would be like, oh my god, she was the best? Like, she was fucking awesome. You know what I mean?
She doesn't do anything in the first fucking movie. She just kind of says, bye, Woody, and that's the end of her fucking dialogue in the movie.
In the first or second movie, she didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't even remember in the second movie. But with this, it's like she comes in, and I was like, I expected it to come. Again, I expected this to be some Captain Marvel shit, but then when you actually see it, like, okay, she's confident and capable, but it doesn't mean like, oh, suddenly everyone around her is stupider now to make her look. And she's like, no, everyone there is doing their job properly except for the main character. But you understand why Woody's not doing his fucking job properly because he's so focused on one thing, he doesn't understand how to do anything else. So that's why he's fucking up because he's like his tunnel vision. Where everyone else is like, no, we're doing our jobs properly. You're not. Like, so it actually worked out really well. I really did enjoy Bo Peep.
Yeah, man. I don't know if I want to give it an extra point for innovation on that. I know I will, but
Nah.
no, not but you, Jen.
Well, no,
either.
because she's a good female character, but like we've had great. I mean, obviously, fucking Dark Phoenix, God no, but like we've had good female characters before. It's just she was really, really well done.
Yeah, I think that was just the first time for me, especially in animated movies. Like, I know they did something close to that with Incredibles 2, but like the whole joke with Incredibles 2 is, well, she's
Oh God,
she's
no,
a stay-at-home.
Incredibles 2 is awful.
Yeah, but like, wasn't there a joke? Like, the joke was she's a stay-at-home wife who now it's gonna be a stay-at-home dad now because women are so great and he's not as good.
No, you want a better animated feature that does that? Fucking Zootopia. Zootopia does it way better with the fucking Judy Hopps. Is way fucking better than Incredibles 2.
Yeah, man. But is there anything that you would give points to as far as innovation goes, Jet, or you think that this didn't innovate anything, but this was fine?
I'm trying to think. Honestly, 4K in general was honestly such an interesting take on a character
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
I would get a point to that.
Because the thing is too, and I want to bring up this thing about Forky because this reminded me of something. I'm wondering if Alan is going to remember what this is. But there's this episode of this show that I love very, very much called Beast Wars. And there's this character named Transmutate right here. This character. And Forky is Transmutate, in my opinion. Because Transmutate...
Oh, man.
Do you remember how fucked up this thing was?
Yeah. Oh, dude. If we're gonna go that dark, this is the fucking that Powerpuff Girls episode where they create their where they create a fucking sister, and she's kind of a bit fucked up because they use really bad ingredients.
I do not remember this. That sounds fucked up. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, because the way Powerpuff Girls were created is sugar, spice, and everything nice, and then a chemical X. That's what gives them their powers. So what they're like, well, hey, we want another sister. So what they do is they basically get a bunch of bullshit ingredients like rocks and twigs and shit, and do everything there and she comes up really, really fucked up. But they still love her as a sister. But as the episode goes on, she starts falling the fuck apart and sacrifices her life to save her sisters. It's fucking depressing, dude.
Yikes, man. But that's actually kind of badass.
Her name was Bunny, and you will remember her name.
I can't. No, then it makes me sad. Because she just dies. She basically dies. All the ingredients. So basically, she falls apart and dies, and then just cuts the credits. That's how the episode fucking ends.
Christ. That's actually
No,
really
you're
cool.
forgetting. No, you're forgetting what I said. Oh no, there's a chemical imbalance. She exploded. No.
Damn.
And cut the credits.
Yep.
Honestly, I never watched that show. That right there sounds like some good shit. I gotta be honest. But here's the thing, though. We're gonna get into another movie that came out about toys, and when we do the highlight video, we'll equate everything. Yeah, me and Alan are gonna go at it with this one. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure, but oh well, it's okay. Hey, Alan, before we start.
Before we move on, as far as innovation, I'm gonna give 1 point to Toy Story for innovation. This is probably the single best animated feature I've ever seen as far as visuals.
Really? Okay.
The fucking way that the opening scene with the rain and the cars and the visual, I'm like, I can't tell if they just had a set with an actual car there that they basically just used that as a real set while they animated other shit. Like, there are parts here where I was like, is this live action? I could not. And the toys look like actual fucking toys. Bo Peep looked like she was made out of ceramic glass. Woody looked like he was actually made out of plastic and stuff like that. I'm like, this is the best animated feature I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, I guess I can agree with that. For cinematography, yeah, that's something that definitely was pretty nice. For me, the only reason why it wasn't nice is because I've seen better. Like Zootopia, I still think looks a little bit better than this.
Zootopia looks good. Zootopia is great, but like this is like a fun. Like I just saw Toy Story. I'm like, yeah, this is the peak. This is the peak. The way they make toys. And I see this, I'm like, yo, what the hell? They made everything look incredible, and the humans actually don't look like monsters.
That's true. Yeah.
And animals too. Remember the dog in fucking Toy Story 1? How that fucking
that was
and then
bad.
Then you see the cat in this one. It's just like, damn.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, the cat looked like a real cat.
But now we'll go into the thing that you and I are probably gonna fight on. So really quick, before we even do this, Alan, I just want to say I want to do an E shake. All right, I want to verbally shake your hand. Okay, that's not.
I'm mad at you. I'm fucking mad at you.
So here we go. First of all, and I will say they really did change up the premise here in comparison to the other movies. As opposed to the concept of a serial killer conjuring up the powers of voodoo to transport his soul into a fucking doll.
That's real, by the way. He didn't make that up.
Yeah, that really is the case.
It's so fucking stupid when you say it out loud.
But instead of doing that, this time what we do is something a little more grounded. The movie starts off with we're in a manufacturing plant, and I don't know. Yeah, was it Vietnam?
Yeah. It was Vietnam, or that called Evil Incorporated. Because as soon as it cuts to it, it's like thunder, dun, dun, dun. I'm like, come on, we fucking get it. Jesus Christ, you're hamming it up in the first 30 seconds of the fucking movie.
And it's weird too because this manufacturing plant is literally just for buddy dolls. So you look around, it's all just buddy.
Apparently, that's what they like. He's called Chucky, but I mean, you may know this more than me. But like before the Chucky movie came out, like there was an actual doll that was this doll, and that's what they based the movie off of.
Yep, they did, and I'm surprised they even had the rights even back in the 80s to do this. Because in the 80s it was the good guy dolls. These are the buddy dolls. Yeah, my bad.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, there's nothing similar. Yeah.
Yeah, but they look the same. Like they're dressed the same, they look the same, everything's the same. So it's kind of like crazy, right? But no. So I thought that was actually pretty weird to have like a whole fucking manufacturing plant that's just for buddy dolls. But then, one of the guys making one of the buddy dolls is a worker who's getting verbally abused by a superior, and out of frustration, he decides to modify this. He modifies the, I guess, behavioral parameters of the doll.
No, he just removes all of it. Basically, apparently these things are always capable of doing stupid shit. He just removed all the safeguards so this king can learn whatever the fuck it wants.
Yeah, which basically gives us the equivalent of like, okay, no, this doll is already a weapon. I mean, like, when you look at it like that, it's like
pretty much.
Because like there's a part, it literally shows up on screen. It says like violence parameters, and then he takes the security system off of it to enable its artificial, like it can do whatever the fuck it wants. It's basic
Yeah.
basic
He
physical
could, do, he
freedom.
could do all this stuff with the doll, but he couldn't make it look actually cute.
Well, see, that's the thing too, is that apparently like its face or whatever, it's purposely made to be moldable, so that's why it looks ugly, because he will make faces to kind of like entertain whatever the child wants. You know?
That child will be terrified of that because, like, I see what they were trying to do with the face. They're trying to make it malleable so that they can actually get some dialogue out of it properly instead of what they did in that. Like, like they actually wanted to have like let's move.
Uh-huh.
But it is fucking ugly as shit. I got used to it after a while, but it was still fucking ugly.
No, it really was ugly, but yeah. So this fucking doll, to move forward in time, this one particular doll that the worker was fucking with, and the worker killed himself, by the way. But this doll finds a way to this home, a home that basically it's a single mom and her son who's too goddamn old to be having a doll, and yeah, after that. At that point, there's really no more premise. I basically told you the whole movie because that's literally just it. What you see is what you fucking get. For me, that premise, because it's so simple, because it's so what you see, what you get, I loved it. I thought that was a great premise. I think that was something that wasn't weak at all. I think that was fucking cool. I appreciated it. Alan's already probably getting mad. What'd you think about the premise, man?
It's weird because as much as I hate this fucking movie, I can't really hate the premise because this feels like an episode of Black Mirror because Black Mirror literally had an episode about this like 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was the episode with Miley Cyrus where it has almost the same kind of idea where there's the robot and it removes the parameters and it's an actual person. Like, so as far as the premise, like, yeah, it's a Black Mirror episode. So yeah, the premise itself was good. It's just the rest of this movie that holy goddamn shit.
Because the intent of the audience too, and I'll get right into this. I give this a thumbs down because of the fact that this movie was for the audience who likes Child's Play and loves the original Chucky. Now, unfortunately, if you're a fan of Brad Dourif and you want a badass Chucky who's going to talk shit and everything, you're going to have to accept that this Chucky is nothing like the one that we were used to. Not even in the same genre. Like in my opinion, there's no way that the tone of Child's Play, the franchise, has anything to do with this. And I feel like they could have done it to get some extra coin. But at the same time, it's like you almost have to respect someone, and I'm talking purely out of entertainment value. It's like they really could have done something really cool here, where they have more action and whatnot too, because they did do something different. They were creative with it, and it was kind of entertaining just to like not see what you expected to happen. Nothing here that happened was something that I knew was going to occur. I was expecting like some Brad Dourif shit, where he's going to start talking shit right away, etc. But the thing is, I didn't get that, and I am that audience, and I thought this was intended for me, but it really wasn't, man. And I had to give it thumbs down reluctantly because I actually like this movie a lot. But good God, if you're a fan of Chucky, you ain't gonna like this. But Alan, how about you, man?
I think that its intended audience is again, it's split like Toy Story, where it's like it's supposed to be for the older audiences, but I don't remember watching one. That was fucking 20 years ago. But as far as for horror audiences, I think that's what it was supposed to be because especially as the movie goes on and a lot of gore, it's like, yeah, this is for horror movie audiences. So I think I have to give it a thumbs up in that sense because like this is a horror movie at the end of the day, and it does enough. I mean, it doesn't do enough there, holy goddamn shit. But for the intended audiences, yeah, there's the visuals, the lighting, the gore. It's like, yeah, this is for horror movie audiences.
Yeah, no argument for me there. But the thing is, though, is going into this even more so, just talking about the story of the character. Now, for anything else, I have to give a thumbs up just based on Chucky alone. Chucky has always been a character that talks shit and killed, and that's it. Here you have sympathy for Chucky. You have sympathy for Chucky. Every character that suffered a death had some kind of story, whether or not you liked it or not. It had a story. Every character has some kind of reason as to why their death is going to affect somebody else within the movie. With the first Chucky, there's like parts where like even the first death, you don't even care because it's like I'm just some nameless babysitter. Whoa, I fell out the window. And that's never brought up again. Here, every death has a huge place of it in how everything else happens in this big puzzle that is film. And I think that's super important. I have to give a thumbs up for that. Alan, how about you, sir?
Thumbs down. Like, so many of the characters are either one note or completely fucking stupid. Like, the mom here couldn't give a goddamn shit about anything that fucking happens. She doesn't even notice the cat's missing till, like, the end of the fucking movie, which I don't care how busy you are in your life, you're gonna know. She only asks once and then never asks again.
Because the kid's never home.
The kid is the fucking stupidest motherfucker on the planet. This kid is so goddamn dumb. I'm pretty sure he would bring a homeless man home it's like that fucking kid from Pay It Forward. He's as dumb as that fucking kid. Where he just does stupid shit just because the plot needs to fucking exist. The detective here is the worst detective on the fucking planet. Holy shit. The fucking kid, the friends of the kids, I'm like, they're okay. And the fucking, I guess, boyfriend of the dad comes out of nowhere. Like he just is like he just appears one day, and apparently we're just supposed to accept that the mother's been dating, even though they said we're getting a fresh new start. So he just kind of appears, and then just kind of just basically acts like the biggest piece of shit to the kid. And the mom's like, yeah, okay, because they're trying to make it like she's in an abusive relationship that again comes out of fucking nowhere. No, I gotta give this a thumbs down because again, and Chucky himself. Chucky is just fucking honestly, Chucky just doesn't fucking it's so weird that the snap doesn't feel natural when it does happen. It's just more like whatever the fuck. It feels random. Everything feels fucking random.
Okay, I mean, life is random in my opinion too. Like, that's
Oh, shut the
thing.
hell up.
No,
Shut
no,
the
it
goddamn
is.
hell
It
up.
is sometimes, but like the main thing too is I will agree with you on one point here. Actually, I almost disagree, but it's like when the dad comes in, like, okay, like I understand that there's no backstory. You don't even bringing up the dad even being there, or the stepdad. So it's kind of weird how it's like this dude just ends up being there. But at the same time, like, it's not like she's in an abusive relationship. Because one thing I had to give this points for, as well as for its character goes, and this is where me and you will get contentious, is there's a point where in most movies, even sitcoms too, every girl just loves getting the shit talked to her from some fucking dude for some goddamn reason. And
That literally
this time,
happens.
no, Aubrey Plaza's like, hey, don't you talk to my fucking kid like that now.
No, don't you
Like,
say no. Don't you dare try to sit there and say that dialogue was strong. She goes, it's okay, just please next time if there's a problem, just I'll talk to him. She might as well have been quivering. There's no like, oh, don't you ever talk to my kid like that way. She was almost like trying to be nice to this fucking guy. Or when she bakes this guy some cookies, he goes, well, I'm not fucking hungry. He's like, yeah, but I baked them. Like, no, she just fucking acts like a placated wife throughout this entire fucking movie because they're trying to basically meet like she's.
Right after that, though, he goes in the kitchen, and then she gets up and she's like kind of like smiling and happy that the Chucky doll's fucking with him, saying like, you know, John's an asshole, John's a dick, John's a fucking piece of shit. Nah, 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 nah.
Yeah, and then he talks shit to her, and she kind of quiets down. She at no point ever with a relationship with that dude ever stands up for herself. I'm not saying that it's unrealistic for that to happen, but don't tell me that she does that when she doesn't. And again, for the most part. They're trying to basically, she's in an abusive relationship, but the relationship comes out of nowhere, and then he leaves so quickly. So it's like it feels like it never mattered. It feels like it never mattered at all.
And how about this? The other friends, the kids, the Stranger Things crew.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's a part of this too where it's like, okay, you don't like the kids, and I'll be honest, I didn't like him either. But I like how one particular person that's in this party of friends that ends up helping him towards the end or whatever. And you guys already seen this in the trailer. But one of these friends is not a friend starting off. He only becomes a friend towards the end because of this horrible situation. But like, he hates Andy, and Andy hates him, and they keep fucking with each other. And he even steals his toy, which would have happened before in those old Chucky movies, except they never went there. This time, this movie goes there. It's trying to tell you how these characters would act if they were real. If I saw a Chucky doll doing all this shit and giving out gang signs and saying "fuck the police," he's a narc, all that bullshit, I wouldn't want that doll. I would try to steal him. I know it's kind of creepy.
He doesn't steal him though.
He kind of
doesn't. No. He does it because what happened was at some point the doll gets injured, gets repaired, and then it puts itself in a box and leaves outside the kid's fucking leaves outside the other kid's fucking house. So no, he doesn't steal it. It just goes there because we need the fucking plot to happen. And again, you want to talk about last week with Bo Peep actually being a well-developed female character? The female in this just all of a sudden becomes a badass because fuck it, the plot says so.
I don't think that she becomes one. I think she always was. It's just there was nothing happening on screen for her to actually show a growth in character. Just like with the boy too.
That's the definition of it out of nowhere.
Well, no, because like they are like all of them are out of nowhere. Like he's not friends with them when he moves in. He has to meet them and shit. Like they're not friends at all.
Yeah, but there's nothing in the time between their friends and basically the climax of this movie that in any way indicates it. Because as soon as she's like, "Give me your fucking phone," that's when she instantly becomes a badass for some fucking reason and continues that till the end of the fucking movie. These characters are made up per scene, as the scene needs them to be. They're stupid as the scene needs them to be. They're as pathetic as the scene needs them to be, and they're as smart as the scene needs them to be. There's no consistency between these characters between scenes.
Disagree. It's okay. Good lord. Because I honestly, like, this whole movie is very, very story driven, or not story driven, but like character driven. So it's like, there's so much more I want to argue about him with, but we'll probably just wait till the end with that, because the worst part about even talking about this movie is that it's so riddled with like spoiler mines. Like, it's hard to say why certain things happen a certain way and whether or not you dislike them, because I will literally tell you the plot of the fucking film, and I cannot do that. So moving on from what story on character. There's so many stills I have here. It's hard to fucking go through each particular one. Emotion. So, man, I know Alan's not gonna like this at all, but
Nope. Just thumb down already.
more along the lines of what I said before about characters. The deaths are effective here. I think I cared about some of these characters. I legitimately felt calmness anytime Andy's neighbors were on screen, like that detective and the mom. I felt bad for Chucky in certain moments. There was even a scene where and I mean you said the cat thing earlier, so I guess I was gonna say animal, but like yeah, a cat gets killed, or gets hurt. I mean, there's a whole lot of happening with this cat. And I gotta tell you, like this particular cat. I mean, maybe I'm just a cat person, and that's why it affected me. But like, man, that was some rough shit. Especially like after the cat's gone, Chucky's playing the sound of a cat in
Yeah.
pain, just going meow. And it's like imagine going to sleep and you're trying to get over your pet dying, and you're asleep, and this creepy doll is replaying the sounds of it dying, keeping you up at night. Like not
Yeah,
only
but
is
that
it
was
scary,
again.
but it's so traumatic. It's like some hardcore PTSD. But go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, but as far as emotion, like I gotta get this done down as well because the characters, like I said, they act stupid as fuck. But as far as the emotional beats, basically the only reason this doll fucking sticks around to all the stupid shit that goes on with Tin Kid before it snaps is because we're supposed to basically assume that the kid is so used to being abandoned and no one gives a shit about him that he was willing to hang on to anything that's willing to give him any fucking attention. But it never feels that way. It feels fucking forced. So Chucky sticking around is like, why the fuck is this doll still in your fucking possession? Because he doesn't seem to have any actual ability to defend himself until way later. So it's like, why are you still keeping this fucking doll? And then as far as like the kid himself, like, yeah, I never felt an emotional connection to the kid except for maybe near the end. I never felt an emotional connection to the mother. Some of the deaths I did feel like there's one in particular that I did feel bad for because she's a really good actress and she's able to fucking pull it out. But like anybody else, I'm like, I don't give a fuck about anybody in this fucking movie. So when shit's happening, I'm just like, and plus, as far as emotion, it's like one of the deaths here is straight up ripped off from Black Christmas. They pull a little zeitgeist near the end, but it's straight up a Black Christmas fucking like rip off.
Yeah, and honestly, every death in here has been in so many other horror movies. So
Yeah, but
I
like
agree with you, but at the
okay,
same time, I had to forgive it a little bit.
I'll just say this: the Christmas light thing, except for it almost shot for shot identical to Black Christmas.
No, I agree, but it's like I've seen that in a few other ones too. Like I mean, I see what you mean. though. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So another thing too we're gonna get into now is progression, and yep, I think this might be one of the last things I say that's positive because trust me, believe it or not, this movie isn't perfect in my opinion.
Are you sure?
And even so, I guess really in thinking about it, I had to give this a thumbs down, and this works in correlation to the premise. Like the premise is great as it is, but it does hurt that it doesn't change from what the premise is. I mean, I'm still doing like for instance, Chucky's learning about shit and learning how people act, and it's like that continues till like the 55th minute, where he's still fucking learning. And I'm
No,
like,
the fucking hour, like fucking hour and 10 minute mark.
yeah,
He's still fucking learning.
and it's still like I mean, and I forgot the way the jingle is, but it's like you're my buddy, you are my friend, and like
Yeah.
it's still like dude, you're
You
not
make
gonna
me happy when skies are gray.
yeah, and like
Lord.
You never know, dear, how much I love you.
and it
Don't
keeps on.
take my sunshine away.
And it keeps on so much. That song, I'm
That's
so sick of that
awful.
fucking song. And it's like, and I know maybe that doesn't have too much to do with progression, but it's like you're still doing creepy, like like subtle creepy when you've already killed somebody. Like there's
Yeah.
already a death and blood and guts and gore and craziness, and you're still gonna do I'm a creepy doll and it's out of love, la 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 la, and it's like, oh, dude, we're past that now, son. Like that's
Yeah.
not even scaring me because you like knives now, motherfucker. Like you know what I mean? Like yeah, sometimes and I know this might sound stupid considering what I said about the premise to all the movies that we review on here, but like even though I give you a point for staying on premise, you can change it. You can evolve from what you first started doing. This movie does not do it at all. Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, I have to fucking agree. This has the exact same problem that Maw has. Because when you see the Maw trailer, it basically already tells you what the fuck's gonna go on. So this crazy woman is dealing with some shit, and eventually she's gonna cause some fucking problems. But it takes the entire fucking movie to get there. This has the exact same fucking problem of, well, we know again, you saw the fucking trailer, so we know this is a killer doll story. But it takes so long to get there, and it repeats the same stupid bullshit where he's learning to be a serial killer over and over again, that the only reason that this movie can exist is because the characters are so fucking stupid. But I remember just looking at the fucking ceiling just because I'm like, fucking move on, because I just could not take this movie is so fucking dull. That's why I hate it, because I'm like, I am bored out of my mind. I am checking my clock. I'm thinking of messaging somebody because there's no one else in the fucking theater, so who fucking cares? But like, it was just such a boring fucking experience until you get to the end. But yeah, the progression here is a snail's pace and it's repetitive.
And
It feels like they're just repeating it.
And it's one of those things too. Is like, you know, the whole point of the movie like is the premise, so it's cool. But then you get to a point too where it's like, okay, like if Chucky's learning at this point, he learned that he's unwanted, he's been betrayed, he's been outsmarted, and he's causing a ton of issues that are not only for Andy but for himself. And the whole point of the doll is, I don't want to make Andy unhappy, but you're making him unhappy. So like you're now you've so unprogressed that you're just kind of like contradicting the whole fucking point of the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like it kind of like you almost want to challenge like the rules that they made because of this. You know what I mean? So it's weird. But now when you get into tone, I'm not even gonna worry about putting this on screen. Here's the fucking thing, and me and you are gonna fight now. Now the battle has begun.
Dun, dun, dun,
This
dun,
ending.
dun, 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 dun.
We're gonna talk about the climax. The only good part of this fucking movie.
That was
Okay.
a piece of human
Okay.
pile of.
What are we
fucking
dictating?
shit.
Okay, what are we dictating as a climax? Are you talking about the moment they walk in the store, or are you talking about after the initial when he goes into the warehouse? What are you determining as the climax?
Warehouse.
Because I think the store. Shut the hell up, Jeff. I think the store sequence is great. I think the warehouse sequence is okay.
Because here's the thing, I understand. Like they kind of got maybe a little too like ambitious. Like you start creating small soldiers in the movie, and it's
Pretty
like,
much.
and it's like that's cool, but you didn't do anything with it. It's just like there's nothing there. And then the worst part about it too, because like for one too, like the whole store, you see 100,000 fucking buddies and a bunch of Kepler, the TVs, the computers, the mouses, the phones. I mean Kaplan, everything, right? Why did he not control any of the Kaplan anything except for like one helicopter and like two fucking dolls that for some reason are bears? That makes no goddamn sense.
They forget about it, and it's like they literally the most interesting part about this fucking movie is when he gets to basically an upgrade and can control a bunch of other fucking tech, but they don't do anything with it. That's the biggest fucking fault with this fucking movie is they don't do anything cool with the fucking premise that they fucking have. When he walks into the store and they basically like lock it up, you think it's gonna be a fucking kill fest, and it basically is for the most part. You don't see anything cool. I think it's honestly because of budgetary concerns. This movie runs it pretty cheap. But I'm sorry, but when you have something like the Halloween remake, which has, I'm going to probably say maybe as many, if not less kills, and it still managed to keep up the entertainment value and the actual interesting kills and the progression of the movie, and this just, it's dragging its fucking ass until the store sequence. The store sequence happens, and then it just kind of basically, well, we blew our fucking budget. Let's just do this fucking empty warehouse scene. And that's it. It's like, what the fuck is this
Well,
bullshit?
the worst part about that too, that I had a situation with where it's like, and this is why I left this discussion for tone, is because now you destroyed your whole movie with this. Because the beginning of the movie, just like what Jet said, and this is why I want Jet to even watch, because she'll see characters that are living through like, or she'll be living through characters. They get the Chucky doll, and you would think like we always wonder, why would a kid even want this doll? That's disgust. The kid's like, I don't want this shit. It's fucking ugly. Look at his ugly ass
Damn
face.
right.
You know, and it's funny.
Throw him in the fucking fire.
And
Yeah.
then like another thing too, Jet always brings this up. She was bringing this up when we were talking about Child's Play the other day. She's talking about like,
Beat his ass?
Yeah, beat his ass. They beat the fuck out of Chucky, and they don't have they don't have a problem doing it. And
They
it's
do
like,
actually, which is stupid because for some fucking reason they're trying to hold him down. They're like, why is he so strong? Yeah, why is he so strong?
Well, true, but like these things are discussed, and like and I guess we could have learned about that later. But here's the thing, though. So okay, why is he so strong? But they still took 3 kids, actually 2, because one was grabbing the shit. So it's like basically 2 kids, and he fucked them up, right? Destroyed them, killed them, ripped his fucking thing off. Everything's cool. Why? How? What the fuck? How would Chucky be able to wrap tape around the mom like 10 times over to the point where she gets inescapable out of that situation, then hang her on a top of a fucking, like, I don't know what kind of manufacturing
Okay,
equipment
that was
is back.
actually pretty interesting because, again, why I really hate this movie is because they managed to keep the doll aspect still there by powering him up with the fucking, ability to control the tech. Because what happened is he wrapped it around a forklift, a very long forklift, but he wrapped it around the bottom. The thing is he has access to like 8 or 9 other fucking dolls. It would make perfect sense that he basically was able to hold her down, tape her up, and use the other fucking dolls. The problem is we never fucking see the other dolls because this movie has a $5 fucking budget. And it's like all this stuff has to be implied by the fact that he could control half the fucking store.
That's the thing, implied. That's what I get
Yeah.
so upset with. And then people, this is gonna be a big spoiler. So now, like, I know we spoiled quite a bit, but all this that we're talking about, you've seen in the trailer. That's why I'm cool with it. This was not in the trailer, and this is where I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. So spoilers, leave, and come back in 5 minutes. The way that the kid keeps himself from dying. So hey, Jet, do the buddy song one more time.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just think I don't know, like a Barney song.
Okay, this kid who's already a bad actor, who's already been stupid.
You want my sunshine, my only sunshine.
Might as well
You
song
make
that.
me
It was
happy.
worse than that.
You
It was
never
worse
know
than that.
how much I love you.
Oh God.
Take my
This is
soul.
your fault, by the way. You literally asked her to do this.
I know. I'm sorry. Here's the thing. This kid literally cried. And
Don't
goes,
take it away. Don't take my sunshine away.
Jesus. This kid starts going, "You're my buddy," way slower, and for some reason this doll does not kill him. Now I've heard, dude, remember in Jason where the girl's like, "Hey, Jason, my honey bunny, my little son,"
God,
and that was bad, but I almost got it because he.
That was fine in the Jason movie because Jason's a stupid fucking idiot. So anyone that kind of looks like his mom, he'll just stop for some fucking reason.
Yeah, but he's saying the buddy song, and that's how you get rid of the fucking doll.
Well, that's not what it got rid of him. It stunned him long enough. Like that. Okay, that's not necessarily a problem I had with the movie because it actually kind of works because you could tell from the very, very beginning because he was fucking returned because he's. Even though he removed all that stuff, this thing was never clearly designed to be that way. So that's why he's fucking up the whole time when he's not able to learn properly and he's learning out of order and he's learning too quickly or too slowly in some cases.
Mhm.
So his base programming is this is like I think Gary said it. This is a freaking mini Terminator. It's kind of like that whole Terminator thing in T3 when he gets reprogrammed to try to kill Connor, but his original programming is not to kill him. So during that fight when he does his fucking buddy song. I'm fine with that because, like, oh, you kind of went into his base programming a little bit. I was like, oh, the buddy song. He's supposed to be my friend. It was just long enough for him to basically, like, get out. That's why I was fine with that.
Because here's the thing, and I'm going to show you guys something. This is original Child's Play. Look at Chucky's head ripped off, looking evil as fuck. He's bleeding because of the whole voodoo thing. He technically has a human heart. It is insane.
Oh, my.
All this shit happening. And, I know you don't like this. I know Jed doesn't like this. Most people in chat probably don't like this. But look... For a movie that's just a doll chasing somebody, that's a good ending. At least a fitting ending. It's a climax type ending. This fucking thing ends with singing.
No, they ends up singing. It gets shot and ripped its head off. Like they do pretty good.
The mom when she Aubrey Plaza, don't you fuck with my son. Ooh, you bitch. Like
that. Oh man. Man, I don't even know how to fuck. I am so mad at you because you're just going the complete opposite of what I thought you would goddamn go. I thought you would hate this boring ass fucking movie. But then again, you also like Moth, so I don't know what the fuck the cage is anymore. But like, you give this movie way too many fucking chances and then get mad at it at other fucking things that it's like, I don't fucking like you. There are movies that have done way less shit than this. And you've given way more fucking like you've been way more pissed off.
Because it's
like,
building. It's like when you build something and like here's the thing. There's another movie I really like too, Nightcrawler, and you don't like Nightcrawler either, right?
Nope.
See, here's the thing about Nightcrawler is that he made shit that's not interesting. Whether or not you don't like the movie, and it's totally fair. I actually see your point why you don't like it. At least that like he did something different with it, where most movies would be completely fucking bland and it's not even discussable. And you know, Jake Gyllenhaal and the creators of that movie made it discussable, and something was actually happening. With this, you would think that I wouldn't give a fuck about Chucky being on the bed, being sad. How was that effective this time? It's amazing. In the first Child's Play, when it happens, who gives a fuck? It's a dead doll. It's a doll that doesn't emote. This fucking Chucky, as ugly as it is, as Jet says, it's constantly emoting because its face is all fucked up. Like just on default, the face is weird looking and it's very moldable. So there's so much emotion coming out of a plastic fucking toy, and I'm like, this is how I felt with Woody. This is exactly how I felt.
I'm sorry, but like,
Woody's trying so hard to keep Bonnie happy. Chucky tried even harder. He will take lives to make Andy happy. Like that's some amazing shit.
No, it's not. Because there's so many problems with this fucking movie that I've seen you give like like fuck you ratings to movies that don't have half as much stupid shit as this. Where let's just sit here and throw rocks at a fucking garbage can for fucking 5 minutes. Fake emotion, characters getting abilities out of fucking nowhere. That's half this movie is him just getting abilities because the plot fucking says so, or things only happening because the plot needs it to fucking go. Characters getting motivations out of fucking nowhere, and basically the equivalent of him having the fucking force near the fucking end.
So really quick,
what's up?
Because of that one thing, and this is why I challenge you so much. So that thing you just said about like you get powers out of nowhere. No, like that doesn't happen here. They almost over-explain why he gets the powers. Like in the very beginning, when he shows that fucking dude, we didn't need to see the manufacturing of the Chucky doll, dude. It could have been creepy that Buddy's just fucked up and he's acting the way he's acting, but they showed that. And then with the Kiplon thing, with that pervert who puts the fucking thing in his chest to give him extra powers and make him control all the synced up stuff. Which, by the way, our Android does that now.
Yeah, our androids do that now, but that scene exists for only two reasons. One, because the rest of the movie cannot happen, which that is a huge problem when the entire focal point is just because a character is acting stupid that the movie fucking continues, and two, just to have a gory scene with the fucking knife. It's like that scene is so fucking just. I was looking at that scene going, oh, really? This is how we're gonna continue the fucking movie. We solved the problem, but because of sheer incompetence, the fucking problem can fucking continue, and it's like, what are you fucking doing right now?
I'm not sure if it was incompetence. I think it's sheer like that character knew what the fuck. Like we see him in the very beginning, just off the side when Aubrey Plaza goes into an elevator. He's fucking with tech. He's fucking with cameras. He's trying to be a pervert. He's gonna fuck with something like that. And then he even explains to himself where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna put this on eBay. Like we're learning a future storyline that's not even gonna be in a movie because he's gonna die. And he's explaining shit he doesn't need to explain to. This movie over-explains. So,
nah, man, this movie just leaves it up to you. Because, again, like we just said, half the climax is implied. And a lot of the other stuff is just like, yeah, again, a lot of the characterizations for a lot of the different characters, they feel like they come out of fucking nowhere and only need it as a per-scene basis. Like, the characters here are so one note. Like, again, literally so fucking one note that I'm surprised you're not more mad at a lot of these fucking characters that half of them are living up to stereotypes.
And I don't see any stereotypes at all. The black kid, I think, says something about like for Tupac.
For Tupac.
Yeah, which is funny. I thought that was a funny joke. Like, hey, and us when they play "Fuck the Police," I know that it's kind of like a Jordan Peele joke, and it's like it's a black guy making a movie, but it's like you can let shit like that slide. And that's the only bit, by the way, that black kid acts like a black kid. Everything else he doesn't say the N-word. He doesn't say yo, 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 whatever the fuck. Like, it's literally one point he calls the cop a narc, and he says for Tupac, and that's it.
Yeah, because that's all the characterization he has. You can't really say anything else.
Characters. You got lots of characters on here.
He only shows up once or twice in the rest of the fucking movie, so yes, that's its entire fucking character.
But yeah, but like you do know that in every movie, like, do you get mad when there's fucking like extras on set, and you're like,
it depends on how much. It depends on how fucking out of nowhere and only again just to fucking move to the next fucking scene, or how useless they are to the fucking movie when they just show up for a line or fucking two, like. This is fucking ridiculous, man.
That kid was not supposed to be a big part of the movie. Like he really isn't.
They make him a big part of the fucking movie because he shows up a lot. He just barely fucking speaks when he needs to.
Oh, that's kind of good, man. Like he only speaks when he needs to. That's
these characters
when
are
people should speak.
So bad. These characters are almost all fucking terrible, including Chucky. Chucky himself just repeats himself multiple fucking times.
My only sunshine. You make me happy. As I pray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. You don't take my sunshine away.
Oh Lord.
Wow. Oh, I'm so sorry. The tone, we just disagree. We don't disagree so much because
yes, we do.
Well, because here's the thing, you're gonna give this thumbs down most likely. And,
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, then we agree. Because tone, you stick to your shit, movie. Like, and that's the thing. I know, like, I knew at some point we were gonna argue when we agree. Like, like that was kind of pointless, I guess, in some sense. We just disagree about certain points. But my God, this is the point. And Allie, I'm glad you're saying something here too, because this is the issue I have with lots of movies that we all watch together, or we just have the common, like, we all watch the movie. I hate bad endings. I really do. Because what that means is you had so much fun making this movie and crafting it. Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And you're like, wait, there needs to be a point to this. Wow, fuck it. Just let him do some dumb shit. Oh, God. Florida Project. That's what this is. It has an ending like that shit. You're going to have a motherfucker cry, and that's your big, like, Gotcha, Chucky. I cannot believe I'm saying that. This is worse than Bride of Chucky. You know, like this is like the very worst Child's Play ending I've ever fucking seen. And it was such a good movie leading up to it. And it pissed me the fuck off, man.
I mean, it wasn't, but the ending was so like you knew the ending was gonna be there because he's an AI. He could transmit to other AI. They basically foretold it 10 minutes before the fucking movie ended when a bunch of the other dolls were the same thing as him. So it's like, yeah, of course. This is just again, they want to make a franchise out of this. They knew they want to make a franchise out of this.
Yeah. Looking at this though, pacing, I gotta tell you, I was fine with the pacing. I really was. It was not a long movie. It really, really isn't. But what do you think about the pacing, Alan?
Fucking terrible. It is again. It repeats itself consistently. It has the same problem that Ma does. Is the trailers sell a version of this movie that doesn't happen until the last 20 fucking minutes. When you watch again the new Halloween, which has, by the way, the identical same fucking budget, $10 million for both those fucking movies, and you get in the first like 10 minutes of fucking the new Halloween, you get what you wanted. And then it goes on to build characters as it needs to, and then it continues. It's consistently doing what it needs to do as the movie goes on Halloween. This doesn't. This movie starts it off by getting the premise ready, then fucks off for most of its fucking movie until near the end where it's like, hey, by the way, all that bullshit we've been building up, now it's going to pay off for 10 fucking minutes until we get to the warehouse where it's like, hey, guys, we ran out of fucking budget. Let's just shoot in this $5 fucking warehouse so that we can finish this fucking movie off. Like, no, this fucking pacing is the fucking one of the worst I've seen this year.
I'm so shocked. Yeah, like something so short, especially in a year where we get bullshit like 3 hours of fucking Endgame, and it's like you see a movie that's like made for me. It's just made to be like, hey man, listen, enjoy this little snack.
You are biased, Diaz. You are biased.
I'm not biased.
You give horror movies way more slack than you would ever.
But
give
you don't. You shit on horror movies though. You didn't like Ma, which by the way,
I didn't like Ma. I watched fucking 30 of them last year, man.
But wait, you said you don't like Ma. You gave that like a fucking
yeah. Ma's a piece of shit, but you gave it because you are biased towards horror movies. I watched all of the fucking Freddy movies, all of the fucking Halloween movies, and all the fucking Jason movies, and I gave those as I needed to, and there's varying degrees because I don't have that fucking bias. You get biases to horror movies.
I don't. Just because I like good shit and horror just seems to have a lot of good shit does not mean
no,
that
it does because that's a lot of action too. You're shit. This movie that you yell at Star Wars for. But you give it this because the fucking guy got his dick cut off at some point.
No, because nothing. When fucking stupid
Dang,
Luke Skywalker,
really?
when Luke Skywalker is fucking falling, and he's like, "Oh, I cut my arm, ow!" But let me fall 1,000,000 fucking feet. They don't show like, wow, why was he able to do that?
Okay, Nick.
Was there any reason? By the way, too, why does he have the Force? What is the Force? Can you tell me what the fucking Force is?
Okay, Nick, you want to bring up Luke Skywalker and his bullshit? Is this kid deaf or not?
Us together.
Yeah, he is.
Is he? Because he loses his hearing aid 3 fucking times and it doesn't seem to matter.
It mattered inside the store right before the climax. What the fuck are you
It
talking
didn't
about?
because it keeps falling out throughout the movie and people still talk to him.
Yeah, and he's like, I want to.
No, he understands it.
By the way, you do know that you don't have to be completely deaf to have a hearing aid, right?
Yes, but there's no level. We have no idea what level of deaf this kid fucking is, and the hearing aid plays almost nothing into this fucking movie.
It kind of does because he's whispering to him, he's talking shit to him in his ear, and the thing is, the reason why he's doing that is because people are thinking he's going crazy. People in the store are like, "Whoa, this kid's fucking nuts. Let's get him out of here." And he's trying to tell him, "No, listen, people, Chucky's fucking crazy," and Chucky's in his ear like, "I'm gonna fuck you up. Yeah, I'm gonna whoop your ass." Like he's talking shit to him. He's getting like that's like some Freddy
Again,
shit.
that could have easily come up in any single way. I don't know if this is a reference to fucking Freddy 6. Where at least with that stupid bullshit with the kid with the hearing aid there, at least that mattered throughout the whole fucking movie. This never mattered except for that one sequence in the fucking store.
By the way, too, like just like the other things you were saying that wasn't explained, they do show scenes with him getting the Kaplan little fucking Alexa thing shoved up his ass or his stomach, whatever the fuck. They also show the guy in the very beginning of the movie fucking around with his microchip so he can turn into a psycho serial killer doll. These things are explained and shown on screen in slow-mo. Your shit with Star Wars, nothing's ever explained.
No, they are explained,
the Force
but you
is.
have your biases. It's all I'm fucking trying to say.
People in the chat.
You're biased towards horror movie.
Chat. What is the Force? Can someone explain to me what the Force?
The Force is a spiritual connection to every living being in the universe.
But how do I get the Force? If I want to go, let's say I go into Star Wars.
You're either born with it or you can acquire it by being next to Force-sensitive people. So you're either born with it naturally, like you were in the fucking Skywalker line, or if you want to take in the new ones, you can acquire it through training or overtime, depending on where you are in the universe.
One of two things: either one, I don't get distilled, I'm just stupid, and it's my fault, or two, it's that you didn't answer a single question there, and I don't know which one it is because it's like this. I know I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm just saying.
I just answered the question. You said you didn't answer the question.
No, but like, but like, it's a weird thing. It's like you answered it, but it's like still. I'm sorry. I 100% apologize, but it's like it's one of those situations where that's not enough. That's like if I told you like, why do dinosaurs exist? Because they gave birth and they exist still. Okay, but like how? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like I don't even know what the right question to ask. Like why does Jurassic Park still keep getting made? You can't just tell me a piece of it like because it makes money. I know it makes money, but also dinosaurs are eating people. So like, what the fuck?
I'm not gonna sit here and claim Star Wars, Marvel, DC, fucking Jurassic Park are perfect fucking movies that explain every single little detail and there's no room for whatever the fuck. But it's that you give some of those movies so much shit when this movie does some of the exact same shit. But because again, there's so much blood and violence, like as soon as you see blood and violence, you'll forget the rest of the fucking movie, man.
All right. Well, Kirk is saying the Force is an organized body of military personnel, police. Oh, shut the fuck up. I thought that was so useful for me.
As soon as I read that, I was like, oh wait, I'm gonna let Nick fall into that trap.
I fucking hate you, Kirk.
Thank you for that one.
Wow, I'm gonna start reading shit before I say it. Jesus Christ. Like, go fuck yourself, San Diego. Like that's where I was right
Yeah. Ron Burgundy shit.
That's why you don't got no teleprompter. Kirk makes me look like a fucking idiot.
Might as well be a teleprompter in the chat sometimes.
Good God, man. Anyways, I guess the last thing I want to bring up too is just like anything innovative. I gotta tell you, innovative. I think the story was innovative. I'm sorry. I gotta give it this because in no way have you made one of the classic 80s horror villains sympathetic. That's never happened. Ever. Don't you run away from me.
I cannot believe you just said he's sympathetic. Holy fucking shit.
Is he not sympathetic? This is not Chucky's fault. How was this Chucky's fault?
Once he gained enough sentience and started to learn, he was killing. He was either
to make Andy
he's
happy
sentient or he's not.
Okay, so
pick a fucking lane.
All right, is Woody a piece of shit then?
Sometimes it can be.
Yeah,
during the Toy Story 4, when basically all he... Dude, okay, in the fucking... quick thing. In Toy Story 4, when Woody's basically... When they have a plan to jump the fucking case to get in there, Woody says, fuck it, and risks all their lives. Yes, so he kind of is a shit. So he kind of can be a piece of shit. The thing about Chucky is he AI or is he not? Is he alive? Because he got rid of all this stuff, and they say he's learning. So he's not actually an AI. He's just a very clever robot like your phone. Your phone isn't intelligent, but your phone... can like fucking hear your voice and do ads. That doesn't mean it's alive. That just means it has really good programming. So he's a fucking robot, or is he alive? Because if he's alive and he has thoughts, then he's a fucking evil asshole. If he's a fucking robot, then he's just doing his fucking job.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no sympathy here.
For me, when you see the sadness on the doll's face, and he's just sitting there like, Andy, why am I in trouble? I fucking love you. Like, I love you so much. Why are you yelling at me? I'm just trying to make you happy. And it's like, dude, how do you not feel like emotional with that? Like, how do you not look at that and go like, damn, like I'm sorry, but you can't be killing people. Like, let's go fix you. Let's go do something. Like,
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry that you murdered at least 2 people here and an animal. You're still my friend. Like, no, fuck you. I'm sorry, Nick. If you cut me with a knife tomorrow, we're not gonna be friends.
I know, but the fucking cat, the cat hit him. The cat cut his friend.
Your fucking Android phone murders like your fucking cat tomorrow. You're gonna sit there and not throw your phone out the window?
No, but I will tell you this much: if I did have like I don't know a fucking dog that attacked my cat, like I bring a dog home, and dogs can be crazy sometimes. You never know. But if a dog is like, cats are usually my food, I'm gonna lose my shit and go after the cat. Well, if it bites a cat, hurts it bad, I'm not gonna kill my fucking dog.
No, but you're gonna get rid of it, especially if it's a new dog.
No, something's wrong with me as an owner. What did I do that led this dog to fucking harm somebody else in his house?
Okay, yeah, you harm somebody else in this house. Then after the first time, you're like, whatever, maybe I could train. And maybe it's a simple bite, whatever the fuck. If he then kills someone in your house, I'm pretty sure you're not going to keep him around.
But but this is not. You're talking about how
it literally happens.
But I know, no, you're right. But you're talking about how this is the kid's fault that he's stupid that didn't say anything. He should have said something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
the kid is too stupid. The only reason this movie can exist is because the kid is fucking stupid. This is what they should have done. Is they, instead of having the one main character kid, what should have happened is as soon as the cat gets fucking, gets got, they should have tossed his ass out, and then you still could have had it go to the fucking crazy dude, still have him give the fucking, extra powers, then have him still want to kill Andy or love Andy, and then you'd have a much better fucking movie that has much less stupider characters. But no, we got to go for an extra 30 minutes of this clearly being a problem, but for some fucking reason, the kid keeps him around.
I see your point. I really honestly do, legitimately. But, fuck you.
Yeah, I agree. There's a problem with the movie, and I came up with a solution.
DT rate for this, what would you give this?
This is some more bullshit. I wasn't angry
Wow,
like I was in
fuck
other stuff, but this is some more
Man,
bullshit.
God damn, fuck you.
Fuck this movie. This is not as bad as Ma. Ma, I think, was way worse and way more boring. So at least and at least there was something interesting with the whole toy store murder, but that doesn't last long enough. Yeah, it didn't make me angry like other movies, but this is something I don't think I ever want to watch this again. I don't even want to watch. I'm glad I didn't watch the fucking 3 Chucky movies prior to get ready. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm not gonna fucking sit through any more of these.
For me, I gotta give it a full price. I thought it was a really, really good fucking movie. I'm sorry. I know you're
I
upset.
can't wait till Spider-Man comes out.
Yeah, I can't either. I hope it's good. You motherfucker. Anyways, we're gonna get the fuck out of here. I gotta go pee, actually. So, with that said, why don't you tell people what to find you on oneofus.net, sir?
If you go to oneofus.net and go to the Screener Squad, you'll basically see a bunch of the stuff I've had. A Breakfast Club episode came out where we were talking about all sorts of E3 stuff. So check that out in the forum section. We just did a review for a few movies. The Command, which is Nick's going to be showing on screen. And yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff that's also coming out down the way, especially in July. I basically signed it to almost everything on there. So be sure to check that out in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, yes. And with that said, we're getting the fuck out of here. I know I'm rushing, but I had to pee so bad.
Well,
Thank you for
I
watching.
can't believe this. You have to pee so bad you couldn't even get my last question.
What was your last question?
So is Andy basically doing better now that he moved on to Child Play?
He is. I'm gonna go pee.
Oh my
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, man, this movie's been fucking riding the Toy Story's like fucking tail for months now, man.
Which is funny because I mean, like, Child's Play I think came out first, and then Toy Story. So just like Andy started off mid, then he got better in Toy Story, and so forth, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Okay, Andy, we see what happened."
This is the alternate universe where instead of getting Woody, he got a fucking Chucky doll.
I don't even know if the show's going. Hi, people.
Is it over? Actually, I don't know if the show's going. I think it's still going. Nick, are you dead? Nick's dead. Okay, so this is my show now. So remember this when every single superhero movie comes out and how he's basically complaining about every single stupid character or characters that don't show up, like we saw about Captain Marvel or Vision or some of the other characters, where all the characters in this movie are one note, but because it's bloody and there's a lot of blood splatter, he enjoys it more, even though the characters do the same shit that he sees in other movies that he complains about. He is biased because there's blood involved. If this movie was rated PG-13 and had the exact same things going on, he would have hated it because there wasn't blood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sorry. I phased out of that big time, so I didn't hear a word you said.
That's fine. I think I actually have no idea because I don't know. Yeah, we are still on. I don't know where the fuck Nick. I think Nick just ran to the bathroom. So
I literally just went pee. That was so nice.
You should have said something.
I did. You were too busy arguing again, Alan.
I wasn't arguing because
You
I thought you
were.
were going to end the show. You crazy person.
No,
He said he listened to my question, then he ran off to go shoot waterfalls in the toilet, then drop his kids off at the pool.
dude, I gotta tell you guys, like I don't like holding in my pee because it's bad for your dick and everything. But when I do, it feels so good to pee. It's just like it just keeps going. You know what I mean?
Please end the fucking show.
Alan.
Sure.
Please end the fucking show.
We will end the show. One more thing before we go, because we're not talking about. I'm sick of these fucking toys. So with that said, before we go, you did watch all the Toy Story movies. What would you rate them? Really quick.
So I think that the first one is a full price, and I think the second one is the same thing. Actually, yeah. Is it both the first and the second one are full price? I think that as far in between the first and second one, I think I like the first one a little bit more because it was kind of its own thing. I feel like the second one has a very similar plot to the first one, where it's like, hey, a toy gets lost by somebody who doesn't care about toys, and we got to go on a rescue mission with all the toys to basically save the person's life. And the climax has these toys outrunning motor vehicles and basically kill it. Like this movie, the Toy Story movies lie to you people are dying because of these fucking toys. Like these toys are taking people's lives and causing car accidents.
Mm-hmm.
I think the third one is a high full price. Like that is a fucking amazing ass movie. I think it's better than the first two and even the fourth one because it nails the emotional core. It has an interesting villain, has an interesting premise, has an interesting flow, and the climax is very different than all three of these. So yeah, I definitely think the third one is the best one. So that one's a high full price.
Okay, cool. Yeah. How about you, Jet?
For me, this is actually pretty difficult because I like literally all the movies the same. But if you really had to like shank it out of me and shit, I would say the third one, second one, first one, fourth one.
Yeah, that makes sense. For me, it would be the third one, the first one, the second one, and the fourth one. But I'm not saying that like because I didn't really like Toy Story 2 all that much. But it's just I felt something more Toy Story 2. Like I think many people talk about that.
That one gave you the surprise villain like a motherfucker. Like
Yeah.
Pretty much.
yeah, because you honestly, I don't think anyone saw that shit coming when they first went to the theater. Like that's how you do like a surprise villain, right? Like it all made sense big time. In the emotional part with Jesse, it would actually ties back to like the third movie too. It's just like damn.
Yeah.
Like all these movies are pretty consistent with each other, and stuff that happens in the previous movie, like that carries on to the next couple movies too.
No, it really does. There's something about the first one, man. I know it's like the least good-looking one, and I know it's like the least like.
It holds up really well.
Yeah, it's like man, dude, like that movie is a real beautiful fucking piece of art, man. Like I fucking love the first one, and the third one, like DT rating wise, like yeah, for me, like the first one a high full price, second one like a matinee. It's pretty good. The third one is a better than sex. That shit, I cried my fucking unconsolable ass off. That ruined.
Bitch.
And the thing is, I just got rid of a bunch of toys by then because I had this whole thing in my head.
Is it digging in the trash? I'll save you.
Oh no, the thing is like the garbage man like literally came like in the middle of the movie. So like I literally went outside. I'm like, I wonder if they're still in there. I'm just gonna take one more glance, and that trash can was empty, son. They were gone. I'm like, no. So that was some sad shit. But yeah, and then this fourth one, it's a full price. It's fine. But yeah, it's just I don't know, man. I hope Toy Story stops still. It needs to end now. Like
thing is, there was two after credit scenes of this movie, so it's possible they could actually go on, but just like please don't.
Nah. Like again, the writing is still good. Like I'll say this, I'll say fucking Toy Story 4 is way better fucking sequel than Incredibles 2 is. To the fucking because Incredibles 2 is just an awful cash grab of a fucking movie. Where Toy Story 2 is like it feels like hey they were kind of told hey make a fourth one, but they actually you know what let's actually try to make a good movie. Let's try to have because again I don't think anyone was gonna really see the ending coming because like it made sense but like no one's gonna sit there like oh wow they're actually doing that because I was like kind of surprised by doing that.
yeah exactly. Before we go, since she's never ever fucking here, Allie.
Hi.
Yo, what's your favorite out of the first three Toy Story movies?
I gotta say probably Toy Story 2.
What? Really?
Lame. Fucking lame. Whatever.
What do you mean?
It has the same plot. It has almost the same plot as the first one.
I
No,
love Jesse.
What was that, Jet?
I said I was just agreeing. Like,
Yeah.
Toy Story
Okay.
2 is a really good movie.
Yeah, and that part is so sad when she gets abandoned by her owner or whatever, and she's just and she goes through kind of like a PTSD thing.
Oh my god!
Watching, but it was so
No, the
good.
emotional core of 2 is great. It's just again, it has so many plot points from the first one.
Man, fucking Cedric.
Yeah, but I like the newer characters in Toy Story 2, so that's why I chose it.
Cedric over here saying his favorites
Also
too as
really
well. He
fun
says,
having-
I don't get it because like I know you say 2 is bad, but again, the plot of 2 is the same as the first one. Of the toy gets lost, we gotta go. It gets lost, get captured by somebody that doesn't really appreciate toys. Then we need to mount a rescue mission to save the person, and it's on a time crisis because it always fucking is. Then the fucking climax of the movie is these toys have to outrun fucking motorized vehicles. In the first one, it's a moving truck, and the second one is a plane. But it does feel very, very similar. Man, y'all are crazy.
There's nothing wrong with being similar. They did it on different things to where it's just like, yeah, it's interesting. It did it, in my opinion, did it better.
Nah, I think the first one.
Did I disagree with you, Alan? But I'm just saying I like Toy Story 2 because I like the new characters, and I like having them integrated into the story. But also that third part was really funny with the whole I'm your father thing.
Toy Story 2 does better with the character. Sorry, Toy Story 3 does better with the characters than Toy Story 2 than Toy Story 2 does. Like, Jessie is way better in 3 than she is in 2.
Well-
I like 3, but I don't know. I just something about 2 that just I really kind of prefer.
Really quick too. So I'm looking over here in the YouTube chat, and I completely forgot. We're getting out of here though, because I need to call Corey and gotta do the work and stuff. But Ryan, I was gonna have you on talking about Toy Story, and I forgot, man. But Wednesday we might do one last little like bring people on shit. I know Ganja's not gonna be here, whatever. Probably gonna get out of here pretty quick on Wednesday. So I'll have you come on then, because I'm very, very curious what you guys think. And any of you guys, too, in the chat right now, even on Twitch, if you guys ever want to join us on one of these discussions, like a DT Rain type thing, yeah, definitely let me know, and I'll let you guys come in. But with that said, it's time to get the fuck out of here. We already did the plugs. All right? Alan, damn it. Why don't you shut up?
Actually, I do have a question for the chat.
What?
Do you guys want me to make a Facebook?
No.
I think you should make a Facebook.
Okay, that's a no for Alan.
I think you should. Let's see. Well, they're going to take a while. Oh, God. Well, Baby Ocean said yes, and Kirk said yes. Already you're outvoted, Alan. Gary said
No,
yes.
I can keep voting.
No, it only counts as one, motherfucker.
I'll make like 6 accounts.
Plus, you know what would be nice is if you had one, we can even go like, we can actually say, hey, Jen, where do they find you at? Instead of like, oh, you can find me at fucking...
No, because she's going to abuse it. Do you know how many people send me bullshit memes to tag me in bullshit?
You can find me right behind Alan right now. Hi, Alan. Alan.
I'm not adding you as a
Alan.
friend. You fucking...
Alan, hi. Hi, Alan. Alan.
I am not adding you.
Alan.
Alan. Hey, Alan, it's time to attach the chat, Alan. Oh, thank you guys for watching.
Like, I'm Forky. I just want to just... Where's the chat?
Thank you for watching the show, everybody. Oh, Alan.
I'll make a poll.
Alan, I'm going to spank you, Alan. Spank that sweaty bottom of yours. Rah! I'm sorry, Alan.
No, I hate you all.
I promise
Goodbye,
I'll do this when we're done with the show. I'm literally going to stop doing it as soon as this ends.
Nick's bias towards horror movies.
Fuck you.